On the same team. On the same team. All right, y'all. It's real life.
Real issues.
Real engagement.
Real answers.
To some real married people's stuff.
Have you heard?
Marriage is work. There's a lot of expectations that come in.
To become the husband that they expect us to be.
People expect to have this knight in shining armor.
He wants to deceive the elect and make you believe.
But in the end, you gotta realize that
Hey, we're fighting on the same team.
fighting on the same team. The same team, not against each other.
Yeah.
You may devour. Wake up, hear the voice of God.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
So we are Unscripted Marriage.
Don't move.
Okay, sorry.
Talk,
I can't move, but hold on. I can't move. I can talk, but I can't move. So I can't move my hands like I normally do. But welcome to Unscripted Marriage, and I'm Darren, your host.
And I'm Lawanda.
I was going to introduce you, babe.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm Darren, and this is my boo, Lawanda. Hey, say hi, babe.
Hey.
And don't worry about. We'll explain what she's trying to do later on. But we want to introduce you to the show. We are Unscripted Marriage, and please like us on Facebook, YouTube.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And
like a lot of likes and stuff.
We are currently at, I believe, 44.2 million subscribers right now.
What?
You move the decimal point wherever you would like to for your convenience. But we moving the decimal point in the middle of the 4 and 2. Just to make it seem like, we doing big things. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Can I talk?
It can go.
Okay,
It's gonna go. It's gonna
right.
go. 1, 2. Oh my goodness!
Whoa. Okay.
It
Fun
did
project.
I balanced 3 books on your head.
I know.
That was pretty cool.
I'm confused as to if that was because I got good balancing skills or if my top of my head is like extremely wide at this point.
It's actually the person who actually does the balancing.
Oh, so you want to take all the credit?
Well, no. The person that does the balancing, that's you, boo.
Oh, yeah, of course. It is me. Well, husbands, we got 1 point. All right.
Well, this one was called Blind Faith, if anybody wants to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's at Girani Coffee House. This one is Happy Endings. Woo,
Oh,
woo.
oh, we like happy endings, don't we,
And
husbands? Oh, sorry.
this one is the Ozark region. Yeah. So.
Okay. So make sure again, and we also want to give a shout out to the Marriage Club.
Shout out!
Oh man, they're amazing. They have been sharing our shows on there.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing.
Awesome.
And so they've been lights out. They've been awesome. So we want to give a shout out to them.
The founders are a married couple who believe strongly in healthy marriages and just awesome. So shout out.
Yes. So next we want to talk about our homework, or what we talked about last week was destination, same place.
Yes.
And,
marriage. Hashtag marriage goals.
Yes. And so we wanted to make sure that you did your homework, which was talking about goals and everything like that. And we're talking about create, modify, or renew your 3, 6, 12-month plan with your boo, with your spouse, just so that y'all can get on the same page. So
put in the comments right now if you did your homework. Let us know yes, no, or whatever. If you found something interesting that you would like to share, go ahead and share it with us.
So yes, and I think so we talked about our marriage goals and like stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And we made our 3, 6 month, 3 month, 12-month
Short
plan.
term, long term. Yep.
And so was there any new things that kind of came about that was a surprise to you or anything like that?
No, we're kind of moving in the same direction.
Right.
We're a little bit more focused now, I think,
Right. Yeah.
because you kind of jumped on the.
Pat me on the back for like. Anyway, yeah. So sometimes we won't get no love.
Moving
man.
on.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So last week was destination same place, but this week, are you ready for the topic of tonight? The hot topic
Oh man.
tonight.
Is that balancing? Balancing.
Remember those books I was just trying to. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish explaining. Since you want to keep on cutting me off.
The
Go.
topic of tonight is
Balance in a busy marriage.
yay.
So as you can see how uniquely how unique my head is. It was awesome because I was able to balance 3 books, maybe for only we balanced all 3 for about 15 seconds?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it did work.
It
and
did
they
work.
They were thick books, thick, heavy books. So
Right.
they had a lot of content.
Oh, that sounds like a well, anyway. So yeah, balance in a busy marriage. So I think it's just amazing that we, through all the things that we go through, where we're at, whether you are always at work, always at church, always with the kids, always doing other things, always inviting guests over, that it's important that you kind of make room for your spouse and in your marriage.
Make room, spouse. So the top rated comment for the week comes from
Josh C.
And he says,
Speak less, listen more, fight less, compromise more.
compromise.
Yeah. So if I got a big goal and a big dream that's out there that I throw out there to you and say, hey, babe, I really want to try this out in the next 6 months. And you may not be with it, like all my big dreams that I tell you. And
Right.
Like in the beginning of the marriage, you used to look at me like I was crazy.
Right.
How
And
you-
I still look at you like you're crazy.
But you believe now, right?
I believe. I believe, y'all. I believe.
There's something to say about having a wife that believes in you. Anyway, so it is important that we talk about just how important it is to set those goals. And we're talking about goals, we're talking about busy marriage. I don't know what we're talking
We're
about.
talking about balance in a busy marriage. Bring it on back, son.
Balance in a busy marriage. So we want to talk about just how all that balancing works and how it's important to. No, we were talking about the homework. Okay, anyway, go ahead. You go.
So, guys, there
Get us
was
back
a
on track.
time when Darren was deployed and for a year, and then he came back home. Actually, it was over a year. It was 18 months, and he came back from deployment. And you talk about your experience with coming back from deployment and all the things that all the things that were going on at the time that I was doing, and then you came in, and then we had to.
Yeah, so when I came back from deployment, she had a whole bunch of stuff going on. She
Yeah.
was doing stage plays.
Everything. I was keeping myself busy.
Yeah, and then
The whole time.
she was like this one woman machine. How she kind of created an atmosphere where she was doing everything. She was watching the kids, or she was doing everything with the kids.
As
She
most
was doing
ladies
all the
are. Okay,
businesses.
some guys too. I'm not gonna, go ahead, I'm listening.
And so I had to, being the military man I was, well, actually, I can't say that, but just coming back from deployment, we only were doing 1 or 2 things. We were either on the road in deployment or we were on deployment. So it wasn't much of the family stuff that we were doing. So I had to kind of immerse myself back into that environment. And it's a lot easier said than done when you consider all the things that goes on, or at least that we had going on with businesses and even at that time. And so trying to get back into that, all that was just a really a true balancing act, just trying to get back into it, and it was
because
tough.
he came home, our daughter was getting ready to turn 2, and he thought he was still in Iraq, where he didn't have to do much. And so I was like, we're gonna have to share some of these duties. We're gonna have to, I've been doing this for like over a year, and we're gonna have to like balance this little situation out.
Yeah, so it was difficult because I really couldn't. It was hard to kind of get back into all that family stuff because I've been out of it was more than a year. It was about 18 months, I believe, where I was just focused on going out, doing what I had to do, and then coming home and watching movies and eating food, and that was about it. I really didn't have to concentrate on talking to kids, or I shouldn't say talking to kids, or our kids, but
Of course, our child.
our child, actually one child at that point. But all that kind of stuff, and it was difficult to kind of get back into the balancing. And I think we have to create an environment for whichever spouse it is to be able kind of to get back into the flow of things when someone has been away for a deployment, or even if a spouse is always gone to work, you have to be able to allow that time. But then you got to be able to compromise. I mean, that's the only way it's going to work. Both spouses have to be able to give 100% in order for the balance to actually come back into play, because otherwise you're going to be like with me, with all these books on my head, and then everything just going to come falling down on you.
Because it's going to be too much, and you got your hands in too many things. And I think what we had to do was make a list, make an actual list of what I was doing, what he was doing, And seeing all of that written down on paper, it's like, wait a minute, maybe we are doing too much. Maybe we need to pull back a little bit and not do so much, because priorities take, go to the top. So it's like if we're doing too much, we need to pull back and kind of really refocus and say, okay, what is really important? What do we really need to focus on? Because if we don't focus on some things, I think when he did come back and we started doing things, and then more stuff, even though we made the list, we started adding more stuff to the list. Mm-hmm. We was like, we didn't delete anything from the list. We kept adding stuff to the list.
And then we weren't accomplishing anything.
We couldn't accomplish nothing.
Yeah.
We had our hands in so many different things and so many different, okay, here's our baby, here's our daycare, here's this business, he's got to go to work, I got to go to work, we got to do all this stuff, and our hands are in so many different, and it's not, at this point, we're not balancing, we just like, the books crashing and falling all over the place. Mm-hmm. And
then we blaming one another for, like, LaWanda putting all these books on my head, so I'm blaming her because she put too many books on my head. And she's blaming me because my head wasn't big enough, apparently, to carry all the 3 books. So it's like we start blaming when you think about balancing and all the other kind of stuff. You really start blaming, and you start blaming one another. So,
but it is important to focus or hone into what you really want to do, or what's really important and what's really the priority in the situation. Because if you don't, then you're just doing a whole bunch of stuff that don't even make any sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had to figure that out, because why are we doing so much stuff when we can just focus, and then whatever we're focusing on, then we can balance it and work it out together.
Or it's just like, okay, if the list is long, then just making sure that you both can work at knocking down certain things on the list, and then you kind of come back together, and then it's a win-win for both. You're both talking about it during your meetings and saying, look, man, I knocked this one out. The other one saying, I knocked this one out, and then you're knocking stuff off the list, and then you can kind of dream bigger. You can, all the other kind of stuff, you can add stuff to the list, and it'll be more fun. It'll add excitement to the marriage, because you're knocking stuff off the list, and then you're adding new dreams and aspirations, and encouraging one another. And I think that kind of goes along with just strengthening a healthy marriage, strengthening your marriage, to be able to do that, because you're accomplishing things, and it's really all about the small stuff. Stuff that works.
What about the couple that the wife or either the husband or the spouse feels that they're carrying most of the weight, because that's not balanced? So what about that? What about that couple that either the wife is constantly carrying the weight of the family, or the husband who feels that he may be carrying the weight of the family and there's no balance? Well, here's the scale right here. It's opposite. So
from a husband's perspective, it reminds me of when you were pregnant on bed rest. Right?
Oh,
yeah. So,
we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. So actually, no, we won't talk about it. So
no, we don't want to talk about that.
Yes, we do. Okay. Well, you don't have to talk about it, but I will. So we want to talk about So in the next show, actually this show's topic, we want to talk about how LaWanda was on bed rest, and it was probably.
Oh my goodness.
Let me think. So at the time, I think we were in some type of, I don't know, I'd say conflict, but we were, well, let's say it like this. The bed rest was the best thing for our marriage at that time. Because I was like, you mean to tell me you ain't going to do nothing? Great. And I was just, I was like, oh, I got
Are you kidding me right now? Are you really? Okay, finish.
Yeah,
I want to hear what you're going to say, because I have no idea what you're about to say. But I want to hear what you're going to say.
Okay, you know why? Because I think it was that as far as us paying bills and where the money's going to go and everything like that, we were at a point at that time where we were on 2 different playing fields when it came to how to spend the money.
Okay, that's true.
And so that's what I was thinking. So when you were on bed rest, back in the day, I mean, this was almost like, this was during our first child? Second child, first child.
I was on bed rest with our second child.
With second child. So this had to been, what's she 10 now? So it had to been
10 years, 11 years ago.
So, yeah, so like I said, so when I got paid and then I was able to spend the money the way I wanted to, it was wonderful. It was like, oh man, I mean, I was like, babe, you need anything? I mean, it was the best. I was like sending people up to her room, doing all that kind of stuff, checking on her and everything. And I was just out there spending that money. And that's what I was like.
I don't know what you was spending the money on. Groceries? What?
Whoa, I'm going to sip my tea on that one.
Yeah, sip your tea on that one. That's okay. I still have records from 10 years ago. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, but anyway, so it was the best time, and not because it was a good time for me, because like I said, I was at that point where all I wanted to do was just spend money on bills and just knocking bills out. So I didn't leave much room for anything else.
That's
so
right.
I was like that zero balance type of dude. Like, if I made $1,600, I'm spending all $1,600 on bills. So even if all the bills was paid, I was finding places to put it inside the bill, paying extra on this, extra on that.
Okay.
And so when at that time, before that, let's just rewind maybe 2 weeks before that, it was like, well, babe, you can't spend so much money because we don't have no food, no money for gas or, to drink,
I was like, you got to balance the budget. Not like, okay, everything goes to bills. Like, okay, and then now we have to balance for food. So you got to pull food from somewhere else. So it's like.
Oh, yeah. Well, at that time.
You didn't want to balance. You just wanted to pay what you wanted to pay, and that was it.
Well, at that time, I was eating MREs. So I was like, and we got them for free. So I was like, hey, I got plenty of them. So it was like, hey, we just all.
No MREs.
I mean, military live off of it. It's fine. They still alive. Anyway, so that's what we was living off of, and that's why it was good for us, because I mean, the kids they lived, so they lived. So I know what he's talking about. I mean, that's all I got to say. They still alive, ain't they?
No, whatever. You are tripping right now.
Okay, so what else? All right, so.
Oh man. Yeah, so
that's my story.
I'm glad you said that story, and that's true, because even financially, it's like you've got one that's a free spirit, hint, and then you have one that's really structured and wants to budget everything and put everything in its spot, and this is what we've allotted for this and that, and then when you have to bring those two people together, and then y'all have to like work on that budget together, and then balance the budget together. There's conflict, almost always.
And we still go through that all the time.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I disappoint my wife in that area all the time with when she say, so babe, how much money we got in this account? And then I say a double-digit number when it should be a triple-digit or quadruple-digit. And, that just brings disappointment. So, I'm still working on that.
Work in progress.
Yeah, even 16 years into the game. But,
because he still want to just pay all the bills and don't balance anything else.
Or, go get toilet paper, as we talked about in the previous episode, or some food other than daycare food, cheese, milk, and bread. I want to go out there and get some seafood, or eat like we look like we eating good. You know what I'm saying?
I think we look like we eating
good. You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
I look like I'm eating
I want to live over what the U.S. considers obese.
Goodness.
I just want to be regular. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Let's talk about. Don't forget to like our Facebook group.
Yes.
Page, YouTube, subscribe, be one of those 1 million subscribers, or how many did you say?
I think we had hold on. Last week we was at 2.4. I think we went up to 4.6 or something like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we had 4.6 this time. So yeah, 4.6.
So move the decimal point wherever you want to.
Yeah, wherever you be a free spirit and move that decimal point wherever.
Anyway.
Yeah,
But our show, you can see all of the full episodes on JeraniCoffeehouse.com.
Gerani TV.
Gerani TV. Powered by Buzz 365 Media. And so we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna give you some homework.
Yes. So
marriage challenge for the week.
So we want to talk about. Yes. I'm sorry you were so excited and I wasn't ready. Can you do it again?
Oh, okay. We want to give you some homework. This is the marriage challenge for the week.
Okay, one more time. I wasn't ready. Do it one more
time.
Oh,
my goodness.
One more time.
Oh, my goodness.
One more time. I'm ready. Okay, go. I'll be ready this time. Go. One more time. Say it slow though.
We're going to talk about homework.
Hey, they can't understand what you're saying.
The marriage challenge of the week. I'm going to hurt this man.
Did you finish already?
I'm done.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
say what you're going to say.
So
give them the homework.
Okay.
The homework sometimes is written. Sometimes you talk it out. Sometimes it's an action. So, yeah. Go.
So,
real talk this time.
Real talk. So
sit down. Have a situation. Conversation.
What? Was that part of the conversation?
No. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. That was a little awkward. Okay. So Okay, hold on. Calculate the time throughout the day and manage that time accordingly. So we're talking about, so I know that doesn't make sense, right? So we want to talk about all the time throughout our day, whether when we go to sleep. So we're talking about from 12 to 12. So from 12 to 6, you're probably sleeping. From 6 to 8, you're probably getting ready. From 8 to 6, you going to work and coming back. from 6 and such like that. So we want to calculate and manage your time and say, okay, during this time, this is what I do throughout the day. And so find time within that to be able to find time within that to maybe go to the store and buy your boo their favorite candy, or have a little impromptu 5-minute gaze into your spouse's eyes, or something like that. Use some spare time.
Use those love languages that we talked about.
Yeah. Yeah, so do that. And so what I'm saying is just use like 5 or 10 minutes out of your day to really be able to do something spontaneous, even if it's within the house. Shut your door to your bedroom. And for 5 minutes, the kids won't know that you're missing for that long. Some of them do. But, manage that time to where you can even spend like throughout the day, or for one day, take about 5 minutes throughout every day this week to, like I said, just do something spontaneous, whether it's shutting the door away from life, putting phone somewhere else, and just do something special with 5 or 10 minutes. So that's your homework.
And do something unexpected. Like, if you bring them roses every week or every month, don't bring them roses. Do something different. Do something unexpected. Something that they would never think that you would do. Make up the bed,
Oh, wow. I almost choked on my coffee just now.
Do the laundry.
Yeah, that was about to be my next thing. You going to do that? Let the church.
Let's see what
say
else. Wash the car, clean the car.
I'm
talking about what the husband can do for the wife.
Oh, okay. Will you appreciate it this time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it, y'all. We want to make sure that you guys are engaging with us. So again, Girani TV, go to our Facebook page, and we'll be having our marriage question of the day on there every Friday. Go and respond to that. You can check out all our shows on YouTube. Just engage with us, be part of the conversation. We enjoy you guys watching us and enjoy your engagement. We appreciate you joining with us because we want you to have an exciting marriage, just like LaWanda has an exciting marriage with me. We want to make sure that you guys are having an exciting marriage as well.
It takes two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited too, baby.
Good. Good. I'm happy.
You hear she said good.
Good. That's good. I'm happy about that.
Okay. All right. So we done.
All right. Wrapping up. Don't forget to like us. Go to GiraniCoffeehouse.com, Girani TV, to watch the full episode.
Yes.
Because we are talking about real talk,
real life, real engagement,
real issues about some real
married people stuff.
See you guys next week.
Adios. Bye. Peace.
Have you heard that the enemy of your soul desires to take control and cause you to lose all faith?